Thank you so much. So I'll just kick off with my first question is to, if you mind giving like a brief overview of MJQE Group's business or your revenue sources or your funding sources and the whole like finance structure overview.
Yes, okay. Well, thank you so much, Ryan. So basically, as an educational company, we are the first one to go on exchange, and we have performed very well. And so far, our new sources are mainly from the organic growth of the company, both from the tuition and also from the service provided by the company. And also, we have a financial loan, guarantee loan, and also non-guarantee loan, and also from personal loan, plus the IPO funding and foreign debt financing. So a combination of many, and those funding somehow allow us to continue to expand up to now. And since going on IPO, we have been drastically expanding. For this first year since going on CSX, we have expanded 5 campuses and 1 building campuses. And that is never happened in Cambodia. So we are the first educational company to be able to do that.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'll jump into the IPO question later because I'm really interested in that transaction. But first of all, you just mentioned some financial loans and some like debt facilities. Is that you work mainly with Cambodian banks or foreign banks in the region?
We have some local bank here and also foreign banks, foreign institution. That's not a bank, but it's more financial institution overseas in Japan, and that have funded us for 5 million for the first stage, and hopefully there will be more funding in the near future, and also some guarantee loan also by the CGCC. It's a guarantee institution in Cambodia. So in addition to that, we also loan with the collateral that you have to pledge with property. So quite different financing sources for us here.
Thank you. Are these usually a regular agreement with these banks, or it's based on projects or based on campuses?
These are basically regularly agreed on based on our projection, and sometimes based on the availability of the financing, and not always available. Some year we have new financing sources, some year we don't have. So it's a matter of opportunity and how we reach to them. So far we have been very lucky. We have been very lucky to secure sources of funding. Yes. And also funding from the IPO itself. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. I was about to follow up on that IPO because I think MJQE is one of the first education group to be listed on Cambodia Stock Exchange, right?
Yes.
Can you explain more around why did you decide to go public on Cambodia Stock Exchange, and how is the outcome, and how does it reflect investors' appetite towards the educational sector in Cambodia?
Education is one of the sectors that are very, very demanded. It will take about 40 more years, 50 more years to be saturated. That's how demand educational is. And we are one of the largest educational company, one of the most compliant and regulated. So ready for IPO that it takes us such a short time to go on IPO. And once we are on IPO, we have the largest shareholder trading. And that's have been a big impact to our company that gave us a reputation and gave us well recognized by the public. And the reason why we go on IPO, we feel that our company are ready and big enough to go on CSX, and also because of the support from the parents and also the community. And it's the right time for us to go on IPO for that reason. And we also need more funding to expand our school. Yes.
Given the market environment, because you went public last year, how is the market overall sentiment in Cambodia last year when you went public?
Well, the market in Cambodia is we are dollarized economy, so the market is quite stable. some sectors are impacted drastically, but some sectors are not. Education and health are the two sectors that are highly impacted by any events, despite the economic downturn and also the COVID crisis. But overall, the market sentiment here are quite good, and there's a regular growth of about 7.6% annually. So we would say that Cambodia is one of the strongest economy in Southeast Asia, and it's predicted to be so for the next few years.
And what do you think your group's listing means for CSX or for the Cambodia's whole stock market overall? What's your meaning for them?
It's quite a boost for CSX and SEOC, the regulator. It's quite a boost, and we bring in the largest quality of the number of shareholders, and also roadshow, the biggest roadshow, and the fastest one. So the CSX and SEOC, the regulator, they were so extremely happy, and they feel proud that to have our company on listed. And since then, it has raised the reputation of the CSX and SEOC. And we are one of the company that continue to be the biggest trader on the stock exchange. So it brings a lot of cloud, good images to them, and we are happy that we could make the impacts and changes to the stock exchange. Yes.
Yes, and my next question would be: have you ever considered listing in other markets? For example, to go public in Singapore, because that's obviously a bigger market, and you can tap in a more internationalized investor base. What's your consideration behind this?
Well, actually, we are thinking about it for second IPO in either Singapore or in Thailand or in Hong Kong. But from what we heard, Hong Kong is a little bit fluctuating with the stock market since what is going on there. But I think it's still strong from the outside look. I don't know how your perspective over there, but Singapore is probably the biggest hub of IPO for people going on exchange there. So we were thinking of either Singapore or in Thailand, because Thailand is working on a dual listing MOU together. So it's a matter of the right time for us right now. Maybe wait for a few more years when we grow a little bit bigger. Because Cambodian stock market is still small and need time and sentiment to understand and for the market to grow bigger. So right now, because of lack of understanding and the perception of stock market is still low, the value of our stock, despite the fact that we are growing so drastically, but the market are still undervalued. The value are still under.
Yeah, I think you are right. Hong Kong stock market is undergoing a bit of challenge nowadays, but it's coming back gradually recently. Yes. But, yeah.
I noticed that because it's quite calm right now in Hong Kong. It's not different. It's quite different from 3 years ago, right?
I think it's really the case when you want to tap into China market, and then you come and go public in Hong Kong. But that kind of sentiment is now shifting away from China. We're trying to diversify, no matter it's both in and out. I think that's a tricky thing happening here in Hong Kong.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, and I guess going public on Cambodia Stock Exchange, you are tapping mostly Cambodian domestic investors, right, to purchase or sell your shares.
Yeah.
But yes, is that how is the overall size? Like, was that enough fund for you to expand your business adequately, or you also just mentioned you're pursuing a second IPO? What are you thinking of? Like, do you mainly wanted to attract more internationalized investor base, or do you have any other considerations when you compared with the IPO in Cambodia?
Well, we were expecting that the market would grow and the value would go high enough. But once we are on IPO, we see that the understanding and the perception of the IPO in Cambodia is still lacking, and people are still trying to learn more about financial and IPO literacy. And because of that lack of understanding, majority of the population are still on the learning scale. So not much investment going on, but despite that fact, we are still one of the most traded company on the stock exchange. and with the highest percentage increase from last year of about 6 to 7%. So compared to other stock market, to other company, we are still one of the highest listed company. So, but because of the sentiment that not many people understand the stock market in Cambodia, we are hoping to go on second IPO because since the cap value that we went on IPO was at 165 million. But on quarter and up to 1 year, our gross profit increases to 45% and revenue increased to 46% with a net profit of 102%. And with that, the market should go drastically up, but despite that fact, it stayed flat. So you can see that there's not much understanding about that. So hopefully that we can go on the second IPO in either in Singapore or Thai. But I want to ask you back a question. You mentioned about Singapore rather than Hong Kong and other place. Why is that the likelihood of going to Singapore is any different that you perceive?
No, I'm just thinking Singapore is a financial hub in Southeast Asia.
I see.
I was just assuming that maybe for a Cambodia company, your first choice might be Singapore
I
because it's a
see.
regional hub that's closest to you.
I see. Yeah, but I heard that Singapore is quite difficult to go on IPO. The requirement is so huge compared to Hong Kong. Is that true?
Yeah, I think so. The IPO scene is definitely, I think it's more vivid and lively in Hong Kong, definitely.
Yes,
Yeah.
I see.
But it's interesting that you also just mentioned Thailand. How likely do you think you will go public in Thailand?
Well, let's see when that time comes. But a lot of people are talking about Thailand, that the trend is moving there, and the process is quite easier, and the market share is quite big, and there's a lot of stringent rules and regulation. It's Singapore, and the market kept very low. So this is the sentiment in Cambodia. But when that time comes, we will have to do more study and maybe quite a few more years. Because right now we are quite small. We don't know if we are qualified for the second IPO and overseas yet with that number. But we definitely look forward to it, yes.